Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the 5 colors of jerkbaits that every angler needs to have with them because they will catch you more bass all throughout the spring and the rest of the times of the year as well. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. Choosing a jerkbait color can be very tough if you make it complicated, but it doesn't need to be. There's plenty of colors out there on the market. What I'm going to do today is actually break them into 5 categories of colors. So you can pick something that fits in that category of color, but you need to have these 5 categories because they will land you more fish and make sure you cover all the forage bases, conditions, anything you could run into. So we're going to go through the different 5 types and when you want to throw each one to make sure you're catching the most amount of fish. Starting with this one right here, this is going to be your sunny day fish catcher. This is a pure metallic based colors. I think this one is called the Threadfin Shad from Megabass, but literally any color that is metallic will work. They make other metallic ones that are different types of shad based colors. You can get a chrome black back, solid chrome, it does not matter. As long as it has shine on it, the entire bait is foil covered, you are going to be covered with this bait. Like I said, this is going to be your sunny day killer. Clear water, even a little bit of stain. If you have sun, this is the bait you need to be throwing. What'll happen is when you twitch this, it will throw that flash every time you dart this bait back and forth. And when it throws that flash, it'll draw fish in from a distance on sunny days especially. This won't draw as far on a cloudy day because you won't get that shine, but it stands out on those sunny days. And a lot of the forage you're going to be mimicking with this jerkbait is going to have some shine to it. Shad, alewife, stuff like that. Even small bluegills and perch can throw that shine to them whenever they dart around, especially when they're dying. So that is the key to this jerkbait. So make sure you have yourself a metallic jerkbait in your tackle box whenever you're going fishing. It will catch you more bass on those sunny days. So next, let's get into cloudy and dirty water conditions and see what we need in the complete opposite conditions. So my favorite choice whenever you have clouds, wind, dirtier water, not dirty water because you're never going to fish this in dirty water with a jerkbait, but stained water, something that's a little off color from the usual conditions that you fish, I am going to go with something that is fully opaque. You can't see through this bait. This one is completely white, but pretty much any color will do as long as it is opaque. If it's white with a purple back, white with a green back, anything with a white base coat and any other colors on that bait. My 2 favorite are like this French pearl right here or bone color. Any of those 2 would work really, really well. Sometimes the little orange belly at the bottom helps. If you find anything with a white base coat, any other colors on that bait, it will work great on the cloudier conditions and dirtier water. And the reason being for this one is whenever you dart it back and forth, it's not going to have to catch the sunlight to throw that shine, but the white stands out really, really well in dirty water. So when you dart this back and forth, that white color will shine really, really far in that dirty water, and that's what's going to draw those fish in from a distance with this color here. So dirty water, cloudy conditions, that's going to be my choice there. And then this one tends to be my do everything color before we get into 2 of my wild card colors, I call them, something a little bit off the wall and different. This one is going to be a transparent bait. You should be able to see all the way through this. Again, clear sides, a little bit of foil on the sides, doesn't matter. As long as you can see through this bait, you should be able to see the ball bearings on the inside, everything there. If you put your hand on the other side, you should be able to see through it and see your hand on the other side. Doesn't matter what color's on the back or the belly, as long as it's transparent, this is going to be the one that you're going to want to go with pretty much always under clean water conditions. If you get that stain, you're going to want to go with the bone or the opaque color, but if you have some cleaner water, it doesn't matter if it's sunny or if it's cloudy, this color will work. And this one works exceptionally well under those conditions because of how natural this bait looks. It just has a less obnoxious appearance than a bait that has a completely opaque color on the side or a bunch of flash or anything like that. So anytime the fishing can be a little bit tough, or if you have really clear water and you need something that looks natural but you still want to fish a hard-sided jerkbait, it will still draw fish in from a distance, especially if you have like a white belly or a different color back. When it darts, it's not just going to dart left and right, it's going to roll sideways, so it'll throw different colors. And when it throws those different colors, it will draw those fish in, but when they get up close, it looks more natural than some of the other baits that you could potentially pick out there, and that is what's going to get you more bites in clean water. So this is the one that you're going to want to have for those conditions. So now we're going to get into ones that you don't necessarily have to have, but these are going to catch you more fish if you know the right conditions to use them. So those first three, the metallic, the bone or opaque, and the transparent, those are absolute necessities. If you can only afford 3 jerkbaits, those are the 3 that you need to have. You don't need these next 2 colors, but they will catch you more fish. Those ones will catch you fish no matter what the conditions are, what the fish feed on. Those are the 3 that you're going to want to have. This one, if you fish around smallmouth or in dirty water, it will work for largemouth too, but specifically smallmouth bass or spotted bass. If you have those ones in your fishery, they're very aggressive and they like stuff with a lot of color, and what you're going to notice is both these baits have some type of chartreuse in them. This one has a chartreuse line on the side. This one has a chartreuse belly. So anytime you dart this bait, again, not darting left and right, it can dart sideways, left, right, it doesn't matter, but that chartreuse is going to go a long way and really draw those fish in. When I play with these ones, I'm fishing 30, 40, sometimes 20 foot of water for smallmouth, and they will see this thing from a very long way away. You'd be surprised how far a fish would come for a jerkbait in deep, deep water like that. They could be down in 40 foot, but this chartreuse can catch their eye if the water's really clear, and they will come rushing up to get this thing if it looks like an easy meal for them. So in those conditions, clear water, if you have a little bit of dirty water, this helps too because it can throw out some different color that they'll be able to find. I know you can buy white ones with chartreuse bellies. If you really fish some dirtier water with a jerkbait, that might be something you want to check out. But specifically under conditions where you have smallmouth bass, spotted bass, very aggressive fish, cloudy conditions because it has some additional color to it compared to just a transparent bait or something like that, that is when you're going to want to throw this bait. That's going to draw those smallmouth in from a long distance, really get them to come bite these baits. And this one is going to be the last jerkbait color that you need to have. This is going to be for when your fish aren't necessarily feeding on shad or shiners, alewife, any of that kind of stuff. This is when you have places that don't have that type of forage and they mostly feed on bluegills or perch. And exactly what color you're going to pick is either a perch color if you have perch in your lake, or a bluegill color if you have a lot of bluegills in your lake. I know this body shape isn't the shape of a bluegill, it is the shape of a perch, but not really a bluegill, but it will still catch fish even though it's not the same shape. The color will tend to draw fish in a little bit better if that's the type of food that they're used to eating. This one especially, I fish a lot of smallmouth places where they feed on perch. This Rapala Shadow Wrap Deep in their perch color mimics small juvenile perch awesome, and it really draws in big smallmouth from a long way. So I've caught a ton of smallmouth on this jerkbait right here. And Megabass makes a bluegill colored jerkbait. That one works awesome anytime you're fishing around bluegills. And if your fish don't feed on shad, a lot of your pond fishermen, they don't have shad in ponds, but you can still throw a jerkbait if you fish a perch or bluegill color and catch fish that way. Not saying they won't eat the white ones or the transparent ones that look like shad. Sometimes they just think they're minnows and they will go get them. But if you fish ponds a lot or places like that where there's not a lot of shad, sometimes it will help to go to these type of colors here just to get a more natural appearance and appeal more to what the fish are actually feeding on. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video talking about some jerkbait colors that you need to have. These will help you be super successful this spring in catching a lot of fish, and we're going to be fishing some jerkbaits here very shortly with some other how-to videos coming about this bait here. But if you want to see some jerkbait mistakes that you don't want to make this spring, go ahead and check this video out right here. Make sure you hit the like button down below and subscribe so you don't miss any more of my fishing tips coming up.